So the title to this video may seem like a classic case of some YouTube clickbait. Like, you mean to tell me people thought Cam Reddish would be better than the #1 pick Zion, who was also the best player at Duke when they played together? Well, believe it or not, the answer to that question is yes, because in the annual rookie survey before the 2019-2020 NBA season, Cam Reddish got the most votes among every rookie regarding who would have the best NBA career. And although he's barely 2 years into his career, this survey could not be further from the truth. It's already a joke of a comparison. Zion has surpassed some NBA veteran all-stars, while Cam Reddish, who I may like as a player, just hasn't been able to perform up to his standards. And if you're wondering why so many viewed Cam so highly, it's basically because although Cam did not produce great numbers at Duke, he checked off on the eye test, which is pretty important. While at Duke and even right now, you can see the great potential he holds when playing. He plays like a pro. But potential is only potential. Actual results are what really matter. We all know this. And we haven't gotten much of that out of Cam Reddish. So yeah, today we're going to look at Cam's NBA career up to this point and what's going on. But listen, this is far from a video calling him an NBA bust. I've seen way too many players become late bloomers to just give up on Cam after not even 2 seasons. Like, he could still become an all-star. But yeah, man, before I go any further, what's up YouTube? Plug Speaks back with a vid. If you are new, first of all, welcome. Go ahead and subscribe. Also like the vid if you enjoy. I drop bangers 3 to 4 times a week, and we are grinding for 5K, so I'd for sure appreciate it. But back to the vid though. So if we look at things from a super general perspective, nothing is crazy about Cam's struggle so far, because he was the 3rd best player at Duke, he was the 3rd Duke player taken in the draft, and now that Duke's big 3 is in the NBA, both Zion and RJ Barrett are playing much better than Cam Reddish. But like I said earlier, Cam's game just appeared to be more polished offensively, and then the fact that he also plays good defense gave both pros and fans every reason to believe in the hype so long as his shots began to fall. But there goes his biggest problem, because Cam's most impressive ability coming up, which was scoring the ball with a variety of skills that most 6'8" forwards do not have, is something he's been unable to do at an efficient level so far as an NBA player. During his rookie season, his numbers were pretty basic and nothing special, but it's what you would expect out of a rookie playing about 25 minutes each game. Plus, it was still better than what he produced at Duke, so there weren't many concerns around him overall. Not to mention, it wasn't like his rookie year was completely average, because in the last 2 months before the COVID shutdown, he was actually finding his flow. As y'all can see, he was putting up double-digit points on solid efficiency from the field and from 3. So again, there wasn't much to worry about. But now that we're over halfway into his sophomore season, things have gotten worse rather than better, because his production has decreased. He's battled an Achilles soreness injury, and he's even been in several discussions to be traded away from the Hawks. Although at this point he can't be traded until the offseason. But yeah, now as far as production, in the 26 games he's played so far, his field goal percentage has dropped, his 3-point percentage has dropped, and overall he's barely producing at a higher level even though he's gotten more minutes, which is exactly the opposite of what you expect as young players get older. And it's a pretty tough situation considering that not just some fans or ESPN analysts, but other NBA pros felt he could be better than the #1 pick Zion. That really puts things into perspective, but of course, players are not defined by their first 2 seasons in the league, and all hope is not lost within their first 2 years. So we're going to look at some reasons for Cam's struggles and what needs to happen for him to play at that level that many people believed and still believe he can play at. And now first up, there's the obvious. A major reason for his struggles is simply his efficiency, which badly needs improvement, because like I said before, his strongest ability has always been his scoring. 6'8" players are not usually able to dribble as well or create a shot as well as Cam Reddish can, but there isn't much use in this ability if you shoot under 40% from the field and under 30% from 3. And personally, I don't think there's anything major that's going on for him to be so inefficient. His shot looks smooth, his shot creation is good, and yet the shots are not falling. But there are some minor things he could do better to fix this. For example, this year he averages even more 3-point attempts than last year, even though he's shooting them from a much worse percentage. That doesn't make much sense. And I'm not saying just because his shot is not falling, it means don't take any of them, but the entire NBA in general takes so many threes, it's pretty crazy. And we should be able to agree. It's to the point where decent shooters shoot as many threes as actual great shooters are supposed to. So basically, if Cam Reddish were to drive into the lane more or even shoot more mid-range shots, it's fair to assume his overall efficiency would improve as well. Not to mention, he shoots a nice percentage on free throws at 81%, but he only averages 3 free throw attempts a game. So basically, it's pretty much undeniable that there are more positives to driving in than taking 5 threes a game. But I will say, if his shot starts falling and he shoots better from the field and from 3, you could argue that driving is not as necessary, especially since he'll be fresh off an injury when he returns, but that's a pretty big if. But anyway, another possibility for his struggles could be both the amount of talent he shares the floor with and the mental pressure of possibly being traded. Because although most of us probably don't look at the Hawks as any more than one of the weaker playoff teams in the East, that doesn't mean they don't got talent. They have a lot of it, and most of their talent happens to be young. I mean, besides the obvious Trae Young, they also got John Collins, DeAndre Hunter, and Kevin Huerter, all of which have played better than Cam Reddish. So although he's gotten pretty good minutes, he's very expendable at the moment, which is why he's been in trade discussions. And when it comes to trades and young players, there are 2 things we usually see happen. One of them is good and the other is pretty awful. Now, as far as the good, sometimes a young player can get traded to a place where they are used better or have more opportunity and they break out, like Brandon Ingram in New Orleans. But he wasn't playing like Cam before he was traded, so take that one with a grain of salt. But then, as far as the awful result that I hope doesn't happen, is when a young player's career just becomes a flop. We've seen it with Dennis Smith Jr. after he was traded off the Mavericks, then battled injuries, struggled with his play until he was again traded to Detroit. And if Cam's injury lingers, this could unfortunately be a possibility, but hopefully Atlanta gives him at least one more season, because again, he's barely been in the league for 2 years and he still has all the potential to become more than what he is right now. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. We'll just have to see when Cam is actually healthy, but y'all let me know what you think of Cam's career up to this point. Has he disappointed you? Do you still believe he's got it? But yeah, that's it for me. I appreciate y'all as always. Make sure to like this up, share it, sub if new, all of that, and I'm out.